YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean, and we are back here on Destiny 2. Okay folks, in this video, we're going to go over a whole bunch of Destiny 2 Black Armory Season of the Forge information, some stuff that you might not know about, some stuff that hit the database, and also some clarifications from Bungie. If you enjoy my content, please hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it, folks. First off, one of the new Black Armory activities that's available on Patrol is active right now. Look on the left-hand side of the screen. It says Neutralize Shield Drones. Also on the side of the screen, it says the Forge Saboteur has arrived. So I shoot that little drone, I go to open up this cache right here, and I get nothing. So I'm assuming this will be active once we have Black Armory next week. Also, there was the Black Armory logo on the outside. Now there's a big beefy Vex Minotaur here, and you need to shoot those drones that are surrounding him. Once you shoot those drones, then you could lay into this Minotaur. Now this guy is beefy. Once I take down those little drone things, then I can lay into him. Now, the new power level is going to be 650, so I don't know if this Minotaur is maybe like 620 or 630 because, man, I hit him with a Blade Barrage, and look, it's not even going to do that much damage to him. What did it do? Yeah, maybe like a quarter of his health from one Blade Barrage. Yeah, this guy's beefy. Now, I'm going to keep laying into him, and then eventually his drones will come back up. And once I kill him, there will be another one of those caches that you can open up, but nothing comes out of it. When we get into all the things that were leaked in the API in this video, well, not everything. There's too much stuff to go over, and not all of it has hit the database. We are going to be farming for a lot of resources and a lot of materials. So I think this will be just a regular thing or activity, a world activity, where these caches will spawn in, some sort of boss will spawn in, we'll have to kill the boss and then open up a couple of these caches, and then we get whatever materials we need. Because when you look in the database, I mean, there are so many new materials. We'll get into it in a little bit, folks. Next up, we're going to go through a whole bunch of stuff that hit Reddit and also hit the API. Now, a big shout out to TimeSplitter01 over on Twitter. I'm going to link him. He and I were going back and forth all day because he was finding everything. So there will be some minor spoilers, but at this point right now, none of us know what the real story is or how they're going to tell a story within Black Armory. With the upcoming DLC, we are getting some new mods. Now, they showed a few of them in the Vidoc, so we're going to go over them right now. But later on in the video, actually right after this, there's going to be a much easier way to actually buy these mods. So let's take a look at the ones that they showed in the Vidoc. We have Quick Access Sling. Swap weapons much faster for a short duration after emptying the magazine. Surrounded Spec. Increases the damage granted by surrounded. Bonus damage lingers for a brief time when no longer surrounded by 3 or more enemies. The next two mods I am definitely looking forward to. Dragonfly Spec. Increases the radius and damage of Dragonfly. Hopefully it will make it a little bit more like Firefly. Then we have Rampage Spec. Increases the damage of Rampage. Can you imagine throwing that on the new Breakneck, the GAMBIT Pinnacle weapon? That's going to be pretty epic. Then we have Sprint Grip. Temporarily increases the weapon's ready speed and aim down sight speed after sprinting. Then we have Radar Booster. Slightly increases the range at which radar detects enemies. Now, this is not all of the new mods, or at least I don't think so. These are the ones that they spotted over in the Vidoc. There also will be some Black Armory mods. Now, if we look at the roadmap here, on December 4th, and I will totally butcher these names right now, we have the Volander Forge, and then on the 7th, we have the, is it the Gofanon or Gophanon Forge? I don't know. We have two forges coming up. But let's pay attention to that first one right there, the Volander Forge. TimeSplitter sent me a number of pictures from his companion app, and I'm assuming you can go in and see the same thing. But check out the top. Mod components requires 25 gunsmith materials and 3 legendary shards. But then also it says requires the Volander Forge ignition. Then right below that we see Black Armory mod, and we see 2 of them. One of them requires a Black Armory schematic, 1, and 10 mod components. They both require a forge ignition. Then the bottom one shows that you need 30 mod components and 15 of these Black Armory schematics. So what I'm reading into this is, well, mod components are going to be critical with Black Armory. We will have an easy way to get them once we do that first forge the week of December 4th. But then also there's 2 different types of Black Armory mods. One is more expensive. One takes 30 mod components, 15 schematics. The other one is only 10 mod components and 1 schematic. Now this screenshot right here could be those schematics we're looking for. This says research weapon frames, and we see Dreaming City Arsenal, Vanguard Arsenal, Gambit Arsenal, Crucible Arsenal, and also a Destination Arsenal. Now it also says requires Volander Forge ignition, and they all say 0 out of 4. So are you starting to get the common theme? Lots of grinding to get these weapons. It also looks like there's going to be a whole new area to the tower. Look on the left-hand side of the screen. It says Annex. Apparently, if you find the right way in there, and I haven't figured it out, there's a glitch where you can make your way into this new section of the tower. If you want to see what it all looks like, More Console just uploaded a video. This is coming from Reddit right here. I will link all the sources in the description. But it looks like, yeah, a whole new section that's in the basement of the tower. Now, Ada-1, that's going to be the EXO that we see in all these screenshots for Black Armory. She is down there indeed. So more than likely, not only will she be down there, but I'm imagining when you see the scope of how much is in this part of the tower, they're probably going to add on to this for the next few DLCs coming with the annual pass, with Season of the Drifter, Season of the Shadow, as we know it right now from BlizzardEntertainment.com, and so forth. Next up, let's talk about the raid Lair, and it's not a raid. I know I was saying on stream yesterday when we were watching the Vidoc together, they kept saying raid. Well, this is going to be a raid Lair, and it's going to be somewhat like Wrath of the Machine, according to the Vidoc. But it will take place in a city, and we do have a name for it. The name is going to be Scourge of the Past. We know the name is Scourge of the Past because if you go to light.gg, a whole bunch, well, basically everything that hit the API is on that website, and a whole bunch of things from the different activities within the game, including some of the raid stuff, is there, and it does say Scourge of the Past is the name of the raid Lair. My question to you is, well, who are we going to fight? Is it going to be the Cabal? Is it going to be the Fallen? It involves the city where we kicked off the Destiny 2 campaign, so I'm going to predict Cabal. Let me know in the comment section who you think we are going to be fighting. On January 29th, when we look at the roadmap, it says that we are getting an exotic quest called The Draw, and we clearly could see that is a last word on the hip of the Guardian. Well, I have all the downloaded API images, and what do you see in sort of the middle to the right of the screen? Yeah, that's the icon for the last word. So that's 100% confirmation. The last word is the 5th exotic weapon, that is. We haven't seen any exotic armor. I looked through all the database files. No armor has hit just yet. That's not saying there will not be some exotic armor. Just more than likely, everything will be updated next week when Black Armory finally hits. Let's talk about some new exotics, and Activision sent me a press kit, and that's where these images came from. So this is an exotic grenade launcher called Anarchy. Now the main perk is called Arc Traps. Grenades stick to surfaces and chain arc bolts to other mines. It looks like one of the other main perks is going to be Moving Target. So this will be an interesting one because it looks like you would set the mines down, stick them, and then you can actually chain arc between all the different grenade mines that you lay out. Then we have an exotic void bow called Lay Monarch, and the main perk is going to be on a perfect draw, a hit target receives damage over time. On a perfect draw with a precision hit, all enemies in the void cloud receive damage over time. In the Vidoc, Josh Hamrick said, if you liked Thorn in Destiny 1, this one is kind of thorny, mainly because of that damage over time effect. Next up, we have a killer kinetic exotic sniper rifle. This one is called Izanagi's Burden. I'm probably butchering that, but this one has Honed Edge as the main perk, where holding reload consumes the magazine and loads one round with additional range and damage. Josh Hamrick and Greg Peng from Bungie in the Vidoc said, this will one-shot body shot. Now, I don't know if he was alluding to that being in the Crucible, because when they showed you some clips in the Vidoc and PvE, it just annihilated things, but that could be a problem in the Crucible. I am sure the Crucible community, well, they complain about everything. Next up, we've got some clarifications from Cosmo, Dylan, and also Deej from Bungie. So first off, Trials and Faction Rallies will not be returning during Season of the Forge. Cosmo said over on Reddit, Trials is not part of the announcement today. It will not make its comeback during Season of the Forge. The team is still working on a plan to restore this experience in a way that lives up to your expectations. Cosmo also clarified over on Twitter, he said, you do not need the annual pass to earn the Season of the Forge Pinnacle weapons. However, you do need Forsaken if you want to earn the Gambit one. Lastly, Deej did clarify in a PlayStation Lifestyle article that the raid Lair is going to be bigger than a traditional Lair, but smaller than the Last Wish raid. His quote is as follows, the next raid is something that takes place in a brand new setting. It's a place you've never been able to explore and fight, and we're sending you in head first to confront the biggest challenges and earn the best rewards that we have in the game. Raids come in different shapes and sizes. What you'll be playing will be much larger than a raid lair, but not as large in scope and size as The Last Wish, which was the biggest raid we've ever created. It's an activity that we feel is deserving of the word raid, especially because it happens in a completely new location. So that's why we have that kind of conflicting information. Is it a raid? Is it a raid lair? It's a raid lair, but it's going to be a big raid lair. That is going to do it for this video, guys. Leave me a good old hashtag made it to the end to become legend. And that's it. Do me a favor. Drop a like in this video only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at Mesa Sean. Check out my stream, usually and always on YouTube. And that is it. I am out of here like Vladimir.